What will that mean when your toaster will be able to consider its own existence? What will it think about its life as a toaster? Your appliances are going to talk about you behind your back. It's 100% guaranteed. In 100 years, they will be chatty and they will not be nice about you. I'm science fiction writer John Scalzi. Here are a few revolutionary ideas from science fiction that I think could come true in the near future, in the intermediate future, and then in the very far future. Robots and artificial intelligence. Soon they're going to be able to write complex articles or papers. In fact, an AI that was asked to write a scientific paper about itself, and it did it in 2 hours. The idea of a robot or AI companion that can speak to you, that can respond to you in a realistic manner, to make people who are lonely, who are isolated, feel less alone. I think that that's coming and real soon. More complex genetic engineering. We have inserted human genes into pig organs with the hope of transplants becoming something that we can do without waiting for somebody to die. In the next 20 years, we're going to see a whole lot more of that, both for good and for ill. Next up, a science fiction perennial, Mars missions. These are all over science fiction. Probably the best and beloved example is The Martian Chronicles by Ray Bradbury, and of course, The Martian by Andy Weir. We will take as many avenues to a Mars mission as are possible to go. You have to give props to Andy Weir. Not only has he thought through what a near future Mars mission would have to look like to get there, but also the idea of what it would like to be on the ground.
Start to finish, including supply missions, a Mars mission takes about 3 years. One of my tasks for the mission was to see how plants grow here in various combinations of Earth and Mars soil and atmosphere.
Driverless cars. These have been cited basically everywhere, all the way back to books like Stand on Zanzibar. What I think is going to take us over the top is when the cars start talking to each other, being able to announce where they are so that they all know how to avoid each other. When that starts to happen, we're going to become that much closer to true driverless automobiles. All right, now we're moving forward to the intermediate future. Things that could happen in the next several decades. First off, let's talk about tech dystopias and utopias. Tech has the opportunity to do some incredible things for people, but at the same time, it has the same opportunities to be a method of control. The line between a future technological utopia and a future technological dystopia is extremely thin, and you can find yourself on one side of the line one day and on the other the next. Our next stop, robots and artificial intelligence. They will have their own wills, they will have their own drives, they will have their own personalities. By 2150, your toaster, your refrigerator, all will have the capability for really advanced artificial intelligence. And what will that mean when your toaster will be able to consider its own existence? What will it think about its life as a toaster? Your appliances are going to talk about you behind your back. It's 100% guaranteed. In 100 years, they will be chatty and they will not be nice about you. Who wants to live forever? The answer is pretty much everyone. As it turns out, I believe that practical immortality, either biologically or in a virtual reality setting, is going to be something that we will have an option for by 2150. There are going to be people who want to be 21 forever. There are some people who would prefer to be 36 forever. The people who are going to get to live forever first are going to be the rich people. And then maybe it will trickle down to everyone else. And then there's going to be a real class division when you have the people who can live forever, and then the people who absolutely can't. You know who does a really good job with this? Richard Morgan in his Altered Carbon books.
Coming back from the dead can be rough. These people wouldn't recognize their loved ones in their new sleeves. The anticipation of reunion would be tempered with a cool dread at what face and body they might have to learn to love.
Come with me now to the far future and the things that we can expect in that far-flung time. Space and planetary exploration. We will get beyond Mars. We will get to Jupiter and its moons. We will start actually creating space stations that are independent of any planet, that will have their own atmospheres, their own gravity, all of the things that we will need to survive the harsh cosmos. Next up, creation of new species is something that's going to take a little bit of time. Why will we do it? Partly because if we are terraforming new planets, we will want to create creatures that can terraform that planet for us. And part of it will be we will want to improve ourselves and take the next step in humanity to a new human species. And that is going to be both positive and deeply negative, if you ask me. Next up, brain prostheses. You may remember them in my book, Old Man's Wars, the Brain Pal. Elon Musk has been trying to do with the Neuralinks. What we are talking about is the way to integrate technology directly into the human brain, but for the sort of technology that science fiction has dreamed of. That's going to take an understanding of the human brain that is going to take decades or perhaps centuries. Finally, let's talk about smart blood. So for example, you're going for a jog and then all of a sudden a blood vessel ruptures. If you have smart blood, it immediately clots and forms a wall. Your blood does not rupture into your brain. It seals itself off. It informs you immediately and tells you to go to the doctor, where you can immediately get repaired better than new. This is what I mean by advanced prostheses. Things that are so much better than your previous body that you can't believe that you ever lived without them. So that is the near future, the far future. I could be totally wrong. I am a science fiction writer, not a psychic.